Good evening, YouTube. I received a message from Ricky Russo this evening, and he asked me to step in and help out with Team C for Pignoli's contest. And so here I am. Apparently I'm needed to channel my inner Kirk Gibson, or perhaps Bill Mazeroski, and come off the bench here and propel the team to victory. So we're going to see what we can do. Now, the first half of the contest was to show our one of ones. Now, I do not own any cards with a number that are numbered one of one. I did once own a printing plate card, and that was a couple years ago. I pulled it out of a pack, and I personally think printing plates are ugly, and just the card companies foisting off their junk onto us as being something exclusive. And it was a common prospect who never had panned out, and it was I bought a box that was a couple years old and busted it. And so, it was just kind of a no-name prospect. I put it on eBay, and it sold for, I think, less than $2 plus shipping. So I probably paid to get rid of it by the time I shipped it out. But anyway, but I do actually have a couple of cards that I think can qualify as one of ones. Now, this one here is a card that I purchased raw a few years back, and I submitted it to SGC myself, and I got back a grade of a 60, and this is the highest grade that SGC has for this particular card in their registry, and it's the only one with this grade. And so that, there might be, one in, that's in a Beckett or possibly a PSA slab, but at least in the SGC grading, it is the only one. And this next one here is the same type of situation. I purchased this card, it's actually a premium. It's a Butterfinger premium. I shown this in a video I created about these, and this premium, I purchased it raw. I sent it into Beckett, which is the only company that grades these, and it received a 3.5, which in these premiums, anything above a 1 is actually a little bit difficult because they're extremely thin and brittle and condition sensitive. And this is actually the highest card, or the highest grade Beckett has given to this particular premium, and it's the only one that's in this particular grade. So both of these are, well, I guess you could maybe call them an eBay one of one, perhaps, where it's the highest grade that's available for that particular card. So, all right. And the second half here was our most expensive card. Now, I'm a low budget collector. I have never purchased a card where I spent even $80 on the card. So I'm going to kind of run through a list here of some cards that I probably spent in that $70, $75 range for all of these, possibly slightly less. I just can't quite remember exactly for sure, but any one of these would all be in that $70, $75 range. if you were to try and purchase one. I've got a Mickey Mantle Post serial card, 1962. This is the version that was cut from the Life magazine, and not one that was cut from a cereal box. So it's perforated, not hand cut. Slightly different. This here is a B18 blanket of Hall of Famer Zach Wheat. It's one with the blue infield variation, and graded authentic. These are not extremely common and are not graded very often either. And this one here is a Cashin publication from 1929 of Sam Rice. It is graded PSA 6, a pretty good grade for a card of that age. I've got here a 1954 Topps Jackie Robinson Beckett 2, and a 1953 Satchel Paige Beckett 1.5. And here I've got a 1936 National Chicall Fine Pen Premium of Rogers Hornsby, one of the greatest second basemen of all time. And that is a PSA 4. It's got a mark qualifier, which really drags it down the grade a little bit for that tiny little writing there in the corner. Otherwise, that would be a 4, and it would probably be worth double what I paid for it. But I guess that's what allowed me to buy it. And right here, one of my favorite cards is my 1970 Pittsburgh Pirates team issue photo pack card of Mr. Roberto Clemente. So any of those cards, you could assign a value of $75, really fairly. I will show one other card here that maybe could be considered for my most expensive card, but a little bit unusual. This right here is a 1929 postcard of Ad Lidska. It is autographed and it's been certified by JSA. Now, I only paid $25 for this postcard, but I was showing this postcard on a certain baseball card forum, and unsolicited, a person sent me a message and was interested in wanting to know if I would sell the card. Now, I didn't really want to sell it, and considered just telling them, oh yeah, well, if you want it, I'm going to need at least $100 for it. But in the end, I didn't even bother to do that. I just said, I don't think I could sell because I don't think I could find another one. Lidska here is the very first Nebraska Cornhusker that appeared in a Major League Baseball game. And so I kind of searched around trying to find an autograph of him. And you can find autographs of him, but finding a card that shows him in a Major League Baseball uniform and not a PCL uniform or just a plain index card of him is really tough. And so I said, just not interested in selling. Well, the message I got back from the person was, well, if you ever change your mind, I'd be willing to give you $200 for it. So I have had an offer of $200 to purchase this card, and I declined it. So for at least somebody feels this card here is worth $200. And actually, I guess you can say two people believe it's worth that much. The person that offered it to me and me, because I didn't sell it for that price. So whatever we do, don't let my wife see this video, because if she finds out that I had an offer for that much for this card, I'm sure she'll probably try to reach them and sell it without me knowing it. All right, there it is. I stepped up to the plate. Hopefully we're, if it's not Kirk Gibson or Bill Mazeroski, well, maybe it's at least Edgar Renteria with that C nice single up the middle. All right, go Team C.